The majors watch. Watching. The majors watch. Watching. The majors watch.
Right. First of all, let me say shalom to my brothers and sisters that are here. All praise to the Most High. Happy Sabbath. Glad that we're able to come together in fellowship and righteousness. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We're not Muslims. We're not Arabs. We're not Africans per se. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We've been scattered abroad. We've been scattered all over this world, this earth, because of our sins. And because of that, we went into captivity and we have lost our way. Hence, that's why we're called the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So it's time for us to return unto the Lord, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, to my brothers and sisters that are online, shalom to you. Glad that you're able to make it and be with us on this broadcast as we go through this lesson. I have quite a bit to talk about. It's a pretty packed lesson here. There's a lot that has happened since the last time I was able to get on the set and speak in terms of the broadcasts like we're doing now. And we did a lot of travel. By the grace of the Most High, I want to also say and thank the Booster Club for their efforts and their faith to make sure that we are able to go out and do the work of the Lord, which is the benefit of the people. Okay, so we want to thank my brothers and sisters that support the Booster Club. Also, one thing I want to mention is that in the prayer, Captain Sarai was making the point about forgive them. It's somewhat in those that speak evil against us and those kinds of things. That forgiveness is only for the Israelites. The rest of the damn nations, they're going to get what they need to get. I ain't looking to... Now, I know he didn't mean that, but I'm just saying it, just in case a Christian bug crawls up in somebody's head and think we're talking about praying for the... No, the Bible says pray for vengeance. Now, I want to see vengeance on everybody that even thought an evil thought against any of my people. That's the way it is, okay? That's what the Bible says. So I'm going to say it that way. So all praise to the Most High. Again, so say shalom to you brothers and sisters that's following us online. My lesson today is pretty much, I won't call it an introductory type of class, but it's going to deal with some basics, but it's going to get deep. I'll put it that way. You will definitely, by the grace of the Lord, you'll definitely be learning something because it needs to be understood that what we do in this gospel and in IUIC is that we actually have the program of the Most High. Okay, and the program of the Most High dictates how we move. It dictates how we set up order, how we set up structure, how we set up direction. Okay, there is no whim and guesswork in what we do. We know exactly what we're doing, and we know why we're doing it. And nobody should ever think to try to make any moves to do anything outside of that understanding. You don't want to be making moves in ignorance, making moves in a vacuum of uncertainty and ambiguity and all that. You want to make sure that you have your directions and your goals understood clearly. That's what the Bible means when it says where there is no vision, the people perish. You have to have vision. You have to know where you're going. You have to know these things before you even start. Okay, so I wanted to make that point. Today's lesson is the quest for truth and the slander of an enemy. Okay, put the thumbnail up there. I had several ones up there, but this is good. I like this one. Did y'all get the others? No? Okay, that's all right. Well, you can show that one, but then show the other one. So as you can see, hit the button, let it ride. And while we're doing that, get Isaiah 34:16, and also I want Isaiah 46:10. I want those two scriptures just to get it started. Okay. So while you're getting that, I just want to make a quick point about what you see in the thumbnail. Okay, you got the moving one. I see you trying to get fancy. Give me the other one. That's all right. Shout out to the brothers. Shout out to the sisters, because we have sisters that work in this department as well. Okay, so all praise to the Most High. The quest for truth and the slander of an enemy. That's what I'm talking about today, all right? See the snake back there, because the snake represents our enemies that will get inside our ear and poison us against our own salvation. So we have to understand the purpose of why an enemy would slander the progress of what this truth is about. And the quest for truth is about us going out. I use the word quest because we just came from that, but it is our quest, it is our endeavor, it is our thought of moving towards the goal. All that fits within the definition of quest in terms of what I mean. The quest to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel and to bring to them the gospel, bring to them the truth, bring to them their salvation. We are the savor. This Bible represents the sweet savor of life unto life, and it also represents the smell or the savor of death to our enemies. So there is a clear understanding when we bring the truth out to bring salvation to our people, obviously, and 100% understandably, our enemies are going to take that very same message and deem it as evil, deem it as hate, deem it as something that you should not be associated with. They will do that so that you will stay in relative stupidity and slavery and love it. Okay? So when you think about it, Jesus Christ came on the scene and he said that I'm here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Well, obviously Rome didn't want that. So the good news that Christ was bringing was good news to the Israelites, but it was evil towards Rome. And they said he got to go. Anybody that's looking to take my slaves out of my clutch is an enemy, is a terrorist, is an extremist. I'm just using all these words. And I got a lot of information here. And I'll just tell you from jump, I ain't going to finish it. But I'll tell you what I will do. Listen to me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give a distillation, if you will, or a synopsis of the whole class today. And on top of that, on the Bible, the Book of Our Fathers, put our thumbnail up there. The Bible, Book of Our Fathers, put that up there. I learned this tidbit from Deacon Joshua. Just show a little thing with the, our little advertisement, our QR code and all that. Put that thing up there. What I'm looking to do, because this particular subject here, like I said, I got a lot backed up spiritually in me that I need to get these things out. And it's going to take some time. You dig it? And I want to take my time and go through it slowly, detailed, and really get the nuggets of all of the information that I have on this program here. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to fill your ears up and your hearts and minds up by the grace of the Lord with some good information today. So make sure you take good notes. You might be on some research assignments after this particular lesson, but that's all right. It'll all help you when we go on. Here it is, Bible, the Book of Our Fathers. I'm just post this up here. Put it up there. This is our program that we have each Friday, 6 p.m. on YouTube. We have our YouTube channel. And I think we're on some other platforms as well, right? Huh? Instagram, Facebook, those kinds of things. Okay. And so we stream live on these platforms. So I just want you to make sure that at the end of this broadcast and to get the rest of the details of what we're going to go on today, I will be doing that on, Lord willing, I'll be doing that on the Bible, the Book of Our Fathers. Okay. So I just want to say that. All right. So we about to get into it. Give me Isaiah 34:16.
Yes, sir. The book of Isaiah 34:16. Mm-hmm. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So it's important for us to understand where God's directives are. His directives and his plans of what he's going to do on this earth is in the Bible. It ain't in the Quran. It ain't in the Gilgamesh epics. It ain't in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. It ain't in no other book but the Bible. That is it. That's all you need. The Most High set it up that way because he wanted our Bible to follow us through all our captivities and to be there when it's time for us to wake up. And there you got the Bible right there in all the languages. The Most High is beautiful, and they can't stop this truth. No matter how much slander they try to bring against it, no matter how much evil that they try to muster up and conjure and conjecture about us, it ain't going to work. It's already written. We're going to win this thing. The point is that we just need to stay diligent in what he said. Even though it's going to be hard, myself, all of us, we have to make sure that we make our calling and election sure. But you've all been called. The point is, are you going to maintain your calling? by putting in that diligence to make sure that you ward off all kinds of evil, all kinds of sinful impulses. All of those things is what we have to harness our spirit in learning and being disciplined. That's my thing. I want to talk about the discipline. We have to have that. Okay, the Most High is not going to give us the kingdom if we don't know how to apply discipline. And that is one of the biggest things that I see that go wrong with anybody that goes astray from this truth. Anybody that gets caught up in this, that, whatever it is because of the lack of discipline. They'll know the Bible. They'll know the scriptures deep and all of that. But when it comes to them maintaining the right path, the question comes up is, where is your discipline? Where's your integrity? Where is your honesty? You understand? Where are those things that hold you in when the times get rough? That's where the discipline comes in. Okay? Read that again.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So the book of the Lord is the Bible. The Lord says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. So once we read what's in this Bible, we learn what God is going to do. And if we learn what God is going to do, then there's no need to be afraid of an enemy because God controls him. Y'all understand that?
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to open up the Bible and see that you're in there and you see what plans God has for you. That makes you unmovable. That makes you unbendable. You dig it?
Yes, sir.
That's where you want to be. You want to be that unyielding, that unbendable. That's the kind of spirit and the mind you want to have, like Ezekiel talked about. That mind like flint that don't move. He's stubborn as hell in that Bible. You damn right. That's the spirit you want to have in this. Y'all all right? Read that again.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
And read the Bible. We got to read, brothers and sisters. We got to find that discipline in our time. Everybody on the planet Earth gets 24 hours every day. Think about what I'm saying. Every day. We need to be managers of our lives and make sure that we get that study in. Because if you really break your days down in terms of what you do every minute, every hour, I guarantee you damn near half of it is in complete waste and foolishness. So we need to be real managers of our lives. He gave us that intelligence. He gave us that spirit to do that, to look and be able to perceive how your life should be, how your day should be. And look upon it and say, I'm going to take out this many hours or whatever, and I'm going to dedicate that to reading. Notice this here. We dedicate it to porn. Negro always find a way to find the porn site, find the weed shop.
Damn.
To find all kind of evil and debauchery, gossip. We find all of the evil, but when it comes to the Bible and us putting in that diligence and finding what's important in this Bible, all of a sudden I didn't have enough time. That's a management problem in your own head. So there's no excuse. Read on.
No one of these shall fail.
None of these prophecies in this Bible shall fail. If you know that the prophecies in this Bible you know that they're not going to fail, where should your mind be at? It should be in the Bible. You should want to know what God is going to do, what the Most High is going to do. You want to know that thing. You don't want to get caught off guard like a thief in the night. You want to know what's happening. If you know it's going to come to pass, you better be in it. That's the point. Read.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
You can't make the Bible with no other book. That's why it says it in Ecclesiastes. All these other books is a waste of time. It's a weariness. Much study of these other books is a weariness of the flesh. All you're going to do is get tired. That's the only profit you're going to get out of it. You might get a good night's sleep because you got a damn headache. Because you ain't going to get nothing else out of it. Okay? It's a waste of time. None shall want her mate. You can't make the Bible with no other book. That's the point. Go ahead. Read.
For my mouth it hath commanded.
Come on.
And his spirit it hath gathered them.
The them is the books in the Bible. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. He says, by my mouth I have commanded that these words be written. That's why he said it in the New Testament. He said that men of God, holy men, spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. So that's how the words got written in the book. So I don't listen to a dunce that's going to come up here and try to debate the Bible. I'm just going to look at him like he got 5 heads and 4 of them are dead. That's how I look at him. I just look at you sideways. I just stare at you for a while. Maybe you'll get some damn sense while you're looking at me with your one eye. I said, the reason why you're breathing is because of the power of this book, and you talking about you trying to deny it. Read that statement again.
In his spirit it hath gathered them.
And the Spirit of God told Ezekiel how many books to write, told Jeremiah how many books to write, Moses, so you can understand. Gathered the books together. Go ahead.
That was it.
Where's the thing about the lot?
Verse 17.
Come on.
And he have cast a lot for them.
And he have cast the lot of the records of the books to be put inside his Bible. Come on.
And his hand hath divided unto them by line.
And he divided the books by line. That's what I was saying earlier. I got ahead of the breakdown. But that's what he's saying. He gave them these many chapters, this many books. That's what it's talking about. Right. God did that. Read on.
They shall possess it forever.
The Israelites shall possess the Bible forever. This is our book. We shall possess the Bible forever. They ain't getting rid of it. Is that it?
From generation to generation.
That's crystal clear that the Bible is the book of our fathers. Right there. Boom. Y'all get it?
Yes, sir.
You got that? Now give me Isaiah 46 and 10.
Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
Where's God's words declared at? Where is God's words declared at? In the Bible. Read that again.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Declaring the end time from the beginning times. Come on.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
And from ancient time, the Lord, the Most High, the power of this Bible, he declared the things that are not yet done. That's the kind of power we dealing with. So with this kind of declaration, and he's telling us to read about it before it even comes up, where should our minds be? In the Bible. Read it again, the whole thing. Let's move on a little quicker.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
So God declared the end time from before he said, let there be light. Go ahead.
And from ancient times.
And from ancient times when he had Christ create everything. And from ancient times he did what?
The things that are not yet done.
He had those things declared that weren't even done yet. So basically he saw our enemies rise and fall already before he put the elements together. He saw the rise of Esau and saw the fall of Esau and had it written down. He saw the rise of us and saw us mess up and go into captivity, and then he sees us getting the kingdom. He saw all of that before he said anything. This is what we have to know. Give me that scripture where it says he predestined us. Find that one for me. It's in the Peters, I think it is, way in the back. Somebody tell me where that's at. It used the word predestined, and then it also used appointed. Is it two different scriptures? Huh? Read any one of them. Just tell them where it's at, the reader. If you got it, Eli, just shout it over to the brother so he can bring it out. Is that the one? Okay, let's hit that one. Yeah. Let's read them.
Romans chapter 8, verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be.
Hold it. For what? Read that again. That's a good one.
Yes, sir.
Read that again.
Romans 8:29.
Read.
For whom he did foreknow.
For whom he did foreknow. Who is that? You hold that. You give me Amos 3. Amos 3. Amos 3 and I think it's 1 and 2. Real quick. Come on.
Amos chapter 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
This is spoken to the Israelites. Read.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have
what?
I known.
Hold it. You what?
You only.
Meaning only you. You only have I known. That's the point that I'm getting to. You only have I known. That's the family that he brought up out of Egypt, the Israelites. You only have I known. Now give me Romans 11 and 2, I think it is.
Romans chapter 11, verse 2. God have not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
Which he foreknew. The ones he knew in the past is the ones he's bringing back. Go back to Amos.
Amos chapter 3 and 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Read.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. So the reason why all this evil is happening to us is because we broke our Father's commandments. So there's some education for you to know that it's not because you're black. It's not because you this and that and your hair look this way and all. It's because we are the children of the Most High. I have to say that thing because some of us really got a mess of people over here. They have more access to the truth of this Bible. So us over here with all this teaching that we're doing, none of us over here should be having a problem with our skin color. Y'all understand? But when we go overseas and we see sisters with all kind of cream and stuff on their face, literally bleaching their skin and all of that. So they actually believe that they got a curse like God cursed them from the womb. That's what that's telling me. Even certain ones of us over here, we think that way. That's because they don't know that Christ looked like them. Read that again.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So that's crystal clear. Now go back to Romans where you was at. And then give me the other one about the yes, read that. Read.
Romans 8. Verse 29.
Come on.
For whom he did foreknow.
For who he did foreknow. Who did he foreknow, class? I can't hear you. Where the sisters at? They're still mesmerized by that last class that Deacon Ithon did? Dang. Shout out to Deacon Ithon, man. He was throwing shoes all over the place. Big boots with mud on them. But they need that thing. Okay? So, can I get a witness, sisters? What am I asking? Okay, I had to check. Read it again.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate.
He predestined. That's why he said he declared it from the beginning. You always been the people of the Most High. Go ahead.
To be conformed to the image of his son.
To be conformed to the image of his son. Ooh, that's some good. That's a class right there. Because the whole works of IUIC, y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Is about taking this gospel that Christ gave us and coming it and bringing it to our people who need to learn how to conform to what their former glory is and beyond. That's the purpose of the discipline. That's the purpose of the fire. That's the purpose of the trials and judgments and all the rest of the things that go on. It's to bring you into the image of the Father. That's what a congregation is supposed to do. Oh, I got a lot to talk about in regards to that. Y'all all right? But all of this is dealing with what we do as we quest for our brothers, as we quest for our sisters. We don't just quest and just throw them in here, so to speak. We got to illuminate them with God's Bible. We have to teach and instruct them so that they themselves can stand up and be righteous men and righteous women, to make them into the image of Christ. Let it be the hidden man of the heart. That's what the sisters would say. Not to be getting your accolades on your looks and so forth. It said, but let it be the hidden man, meaning Christ in your heart, meaning in your mind. That's the transformation for the women. Okay? It ain't talking about looking busted. You know damn well that ain't talking about that.
Right.
No. Get all prettied up. Men like that thing. But along with that thing, have that spirit to go with it. I don't want no pretty demon. Y'all all right? So hook yourselves up, because believe it or not, your spirit carries you a whole lot further than your looks. That's what I made that statement earlier. I know we was off the air, but when Deacon Ithon showed Shahrazad Ali, and she ain't even in this truth, but there's certain elements about her upbringing in terms of how she understands that man has to be respected. She understood that. And that in itself make her look respectable. And she's an old woman now. I'm sure she ain't curvy and all perky like these young women are. But like I said before, and I'll say it on the air, I cannot remember, I don't know one brother in the Israelite community, I'll say among us, because I don't know, somebody might just try to do some nuka stuff, to have anything negative to say about that sister. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Everything that she says, for the most part, brothers be like, yeah, man, I wish my lady was like this. Y'all all right? So I'm just throwing that out there. My point is, she's not a young woman. You know, her wisdom in terms of how she's supposed to deal with her husband is in her. They see that. And let me say something else, too, because a lot of people think that I'm talking about Islam. Islam is plagiarized from the Bible.
Right.
All that information that they're bringing out, they just put a quote-unquote Arabic spin on it, but all that come out the Bible.
Right.
I just want y'all to know that. Put that on record. Y'all all right? But I just make these things. Where we at, Rita?
Romans 9:29. For Romans 8, verse 29.
Yeah.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
To be conformed. Give me Romans 11. What is that? What is it, 12 and 2? To be conformed. Give me that real quick. To be conformed to his image.
Romans chapter 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And be not conformed to this world. So then there has to be a program of change. There has to be a leadership that instructs change. A lot of people don't like IUIC because we quote unquote make them work too hard. Yeah, I heard that. Make them work too hard. You got to make your call in an election sure. All of us got to work hard. Man, none of us just deserves a free ride. All of us got to put our bricks in. By right, none of us are supposed to get the kingdom. Come on, they worked me too hard. You was just weak from the beginning and didn't make it. You know, it's just like being in the military. You don't pass certain deals, you got to go. You got to get recycled. Come back again. Try it again. That kind of thing. But you got to build yourselves up. Don't basically get fired, then you're gonna talk crap about the company. No, the company's still rolling. I made a point of saying that a long time ago when we had all them nookers from 2018. They all left, and they all try to make the leadership look evil. It seems like what really happened is that IUIC flushed the toilets.
Damn.
That's what happened. Once the excrements was going down the drain, IUIC grew. But they went out talking all kind of smack. Y'all all right? I have to say it that way. But the point is, when people do that, they always look back. And then they try to come up with a narrative to say, oh, the leadership was evil. Oh, IUIC was evil, such and such. But when the people listen, but wait a minute. Well, if they're evil, why is God blessing them? Why is it still rolling? Why is it still moving? And yes, we're going to have our trials. You know, we're going to have our things. But the Most High is teaching us discipline. He ain't just going to hand it to us. But the point is that when those that failed to meet the righteous standards of being a righteous leader, when they fell out, they continued to look back and saw that the tower was still moving. The tower was still building. The building is still there. The job is still there. So the longer the job keeps moving forward and you're on the outside saying evil against it, they're looking at you and they say, well, what are you doing? You ain't got a damn thing going on. And then they say, well, you talking about them, but they're just rolling and rolling and rolling. So who's the one that don't belong? You don't belong. The building is keep on moving. That's what the Most High is doing. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I just got to say those things. Where we at? Read.
Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So being transformed is work. To transform something. Transform. You know, I never thought about breaking that word down. Transform means to change the form. You already been formed and incubated in sin and evil and lies, debauchery, hatred, adultery, all kinds of sin. You've been formed in that already. But now comes the change to change you from that, to break up that form and to make you into another form, to transform you into what God meant for you to be. That's the clay. He's going to reshape it and bring you into what? That's going to bring you into where you're supposed to be. That's what this program is about. That's why we have the strict discipline. Oh, yes, we're going to have that. And I tell you, I'll just say this here. I always keep my mind on how we do things in terms of the discipline, because I'm always critical. Many of us would be like, man, we 100% moving such and such. I'm always saying, no, we got more work to do. I am always digging, always moving, questioning, re-examining, because I know the enemy is always there to try to retard our progress. Always. So there's always a need for maintenance, spiritual maintenance. Always a need to keep your foot on the gas. Never give up. Never give in. Always keep pushing forward, because the challenge, we ain't win the race yet. We're still fighting. So that means more work. That means more discipline, more structure, more leadership. That's what it's going to take. And I'm not in here for nothing else. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to play games. I need for the things to move the way they need to move in righteousness. Okay? Read.
But be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So our people have to be renewed, changed, renewed. You were new before, then you fell away. Now you have to be renewed. Renewed. And in the process of our common sense has been destroyed. Here you got the other nations talking about the new covenant is for us. How in the world could a new covenant be for you when you didn't have the old one? You would just say testament, because it never pertained to them. We are the ones that had a prior covenant. And when we messed that up, then came the need for a new one to take over the old one. But you can't have something new if you didn't have old. And the Old Testament pertained to the Israelites just like the New Testament pertained to the Israelites. Hence the scripture in Romans 9, to whom pertaineth the adoption, meaning to the Israelites, and the covenants with an S. Both covenants belong to the Israelites. That's Romans the 9th chapter, verse 4 on down. But our people get put to sleep by lies of an enemy, by the slander of an enemy. And you bend your ear to that poison, and when it bites you, you already know the saying. You knew I was a snake. You better be careful. Y'all all right? All right. So what did I just read?
That was Romans 12, Bishop.
Okay, so I'm done with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there another one? I think we got the point, right? All right, we got the point. You had one in Ephesians. Let's read that one. Let's see what that one say.
Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 5. Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children.
Wait a minute. Having predestinated us. Who's the us? We're in the book of Ephesians, right? Here's how the nations, what they call them? The apolopathetics and the white Christianity programs disguised as Christianity is white supremacy, actually. That's what it really is. They try to make you think that the Ephesians was everybody. The Israelites are the Israelites that were scattered abroad. They were scattered in Ephesus. Those were the Israelites. That's who this was talking about. That's why I said predestined them. That's why the second chapter talks about that. It said that they were no longer. Give me that in the second chapter, real quick. Like I said, there's a little beginner stuff. 2 and 11, real quick.
Ephesians 2, verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh.
So who's the ye? The Israelites. And why were they called Gentiles? Because the Greeks had passed a decree to make us all leave our children uncircumcised. That's why it says that when you read what we read that here. A lot of so-called Christians read that and they don't understand the history of where this is coming from. Read that verse.
Wherefore remember that ye being in time past.
Where's the part about the circumcision? Is that after that?
Yeah, right. It's right there, Bishop.
Okay, come on with it.
Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh.
Go ahead.
Who are called uncircumcision.
Who were called the uncircumcised. By who?
By that which is called the circumcision.
The circumcision was Judah. Okay, so it's saying that southern kingdom Judah was calling the northern tribes or the other tribes uncircumcised because they followed the way of the Greeks. That's what that's talking about. And you read that in the Maccabees. which the people out here don't even teach. So they get in Ephesians, don't know what the hell's going on. But that's why it's saying it that way. Read that again.
Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh,
You were made Gentiles by the Greeks. Go ahead.
who are called uncircumcision,
Because Judah called them uncircumcision because because Judah kept it. The majority of them. Read.
by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
Do you see that? Okay. Go ahead. There's more in there, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Read.
That at that time,
That at that time, go ahead, meaning during the time of the Greeks, that at that time,
ye were without Christ,
because you was underneath Greek rule,
being
bound down to
aliens,
Bacchus and all that evil that was going on during those times. Read.
being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel,
Being aliens mean that you were a part of it and you've been alienated. Alienated means to be separated. I remember our elders used to say the thing that used to kill us the most was the meaning of words. To alienate somebody means to separate them from where they once belonged. Read that statement again.
being aliens from the commonwealth
Being
of
aliens from the commonwealth, because that's where you belong. You belong in the commonwealth of Israel. But you was alienated through your captivity. Go ahead.
of Israel, and strangers from the covenants
And you've been made strangers from the covenants that you belong into. So who were the Ephesians, Israelites, that went off?
Right.
They were being brought back through the gospel of Paul. Paul preached the gospel of Christ and brought them back. That's what this was talking about. Is that it?
having no hope and without God in the world.
Because you was without Christ. That's the point. You was without Christ. But now you've been brought back. That's what that's talking about.
Yes, sir.
So go back to that fifth verse.
Ephesians-
that fifth chapter.
Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5. Having predestinated us.
So now you understand why I was using the word predestinated, because we were always his people. We just went off. We disobeyed our father. Go ahead.
Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children.
And to the adoption, meaning we had to be adopted back. That's what Romans, the 9th chapter, was talking about. To whom pertaineth the adoption. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption? The adoption of sons. That's what Galatians talking about. Same thing in the 4th chapter. It says the same thing.
Right.
Get that real quick. But the time of the, you got it? The 4 and 4.
Galatians 4, verse 4.
I'm just dropping these little things on you because we're going to turn it on up. I'm about to get into it. Got to hit you with these scriptures first, though. Read.
But when the fullness of the time was come,
When the Lord had enough of us going many days without a sacrifice, without an image, without an ephah, he makes all that statement in the book of Hosea. Okay? He said he had enough of us going many days without a sacrifice, without a covenant, without protection. Because we broke his laws, and the Lord said, away with your sacrifices. Now you got to bear that sin, and your enemies are going to have a field day with you because you'll have no way to atone. So the Most High said, I had enough of that. Now I'm going to send my son down to adopt my brothers and sisters back to me. Or my children, I should say. To adopt my children back to me. To whom pertaineth the adoption. Romans 9, that's what it says there. Read on.
God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law,
Made under the law, meaning of the laws of sacrifice. That's what it's talking about.
to redeem them that were under the law.
To redeem them. Wait, did I say that right? Back that up again when I said made under the law.
But when the fullness of the time was come,
Go ahead.
God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law.
Made under the law. Because when Christ became 8 days old, he had to be circumcised. That was part of the law. The uncleanness of a male child versus a woman child, all those laws had to be in effect. They were still under the law.
Right.
Go ahead.
To redeem them.
What was the purpose of Christ being brought back?
To redeem them.
To redeem them, to bring back. That's what redeem means again. And no man shall redeem you. No man shall save you. To be redeemed means to be brought back. Hence the prefix re, again.
Right.
To redeem them. You're already deemed, but I got to redeem you. Reestablish you. Compensate. You can put it up there. Redeem. Reconcile. That's what it's talking about. To bring back. Huh? Where's it at? Because I'm looking at it. To regain possession of something. That's what redeem means. Okay? Reconcile. There's the R-E again. To bring them back. That was where my understanding of Romans 11 came right on in clear. Once that word hit me, I said, I can't get past this. Right. It means what it means. Bam. So these were the Israelites that were broken off that had to come back. And we'll never talk about the other nations. So where we at? Come on.
Galatians 4, verse 5. To redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
That we might receive the adoption of sons. I find it pertinent that the word might is in there.
Right.
Because some of us is going to reject this and get put to death. That they might receive the adoption of sons. A lot of our people are going to turn their back on Christ and they ain't going to receive nothing but death. That they might receive the adoption of sons. That's it?
Yes, sir.
So that's the point there. All of this is pertaining to Israel. Now, where was I at in the beginning? Yes, go back to that.
Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done.
So the Israelites always been the people of the Most High.
Right.
Go ahead.
Saying, my counsel shall stand.
God's counsel is the Bible. This is the book we need to be reading. My counsel shall stand. Go ahead.
And I will do all my pleasure.
Where's God's pleasure written at? In the Bible. So if we want to know what God's going to do, where should we be at? In the book of the Lord and read. Y'all all right? Okay. Getting back to the quest for the truth and the slander of an enemy. The greatest weapon that we have is our discipline. Y'all all right? I'm going to say that again. You can have a Bible full of marked up scriptures. You can have a whole library of books behind you. But it is your discipline that has to kick in when you're faced with decision making. When you're faced with impulse. When you're faced with challenges. When you're faced with temptation. Y'all all right? You're supposed to use all that wisdom, and it's supposed to come into play at the moment of truth, at the moment of decision. You're supposed to weigh with all that intelligence that you have. You're supposed to be able to weigh the options. Should I go this way or should I go that way? That's wisdom. Wisdom gives you the ability to see beyond where you are. Foresight, as they would say. I know that if I do this, it's going to cause that reaction, this chain of events, such and such. So before I do that, let me see what the alternative is. If I do this, then I'm going to reap the benefits of X, Y, Z, and the rest of it. In your temptation, in your trials. I say that because we live in a cesspool of a society where we are faced with decision making every day. And the Lord, like we just read, he declared the end from the beginning. He saw the ghettos. He saw all of the mess that we're in. He sees it all. And he said, but I'm putting you in training. Because how am I going to give you the earth if you don't even know how to make decisions here? You're going to be judges. Can't you judge the small things? This right here is a small moment. He said it in the Bible. He said that, I turned my back for a moment. Man, this don't feel like no moment. This feel like an eternity. All the prophets crying, Habakkuk crying, Isaiah crying, Ezra's crying. When are we getting out of this captivity? We had enough. The disciples, when shall these things be? We all trying to get out of here. The Most High said that's a little moment. So if that's a moment, could you imagine what forever and ever means? Means forever and ever. Right. So he's training us in this little space. Get it right now. I got you. I'm going to be with you in those dark hours, but you have to employ me in your spirit, in your decision making. And the only way you're going to be able to properly do that is when you make yourself well acquainted with God's words. Y'all all right? I want y'all to understand that thing. So I'm making a point about discipline. It was actually something of a subtitle to the thing that the title, The Quest for Truth and the Slander of an Enemy. I put in parentheses underneath it, the greatest weapon that we have is our discipline. And it really means that. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Give me my first clip. Right there. Hold on. I want now, put it on the screen. I want the people to see what we're about to play. This is from the movie Braveheart. I want y'all to listen to what he's going to say. Now, forget about that they got Edomites in there. I want y'all to look past these things here. I want you to pick up the lesson. We're intelligent enough to do that. Hit it. So, before you hit the button, let me just tell you what happened. The young boy here, just freeze it. The young boy here, that's quote-unquote William Wallace when he was a little child. His father had just got killed. And his family, his uncle, I think his name was Norton or something like that, came up and he said, I'm getting ready to teach you. I got to take over you. I got to be a father to the fatherless. That's what was happening here. He said, but I don't want to go. He talking like that, you know. And he said, well, you didn't want your father to get killed either, did you? But that's the way it is. In other words, man up. Y'all all right? So he's taking them over, father-son kind of thing. I just want you to just think about these things here. We're men. We're honorable men. We have to carry ourselves that way. So he's basically here to finish bringing him up because obviously his father didn't finish the job because he got killed. Y'all all right? So that's what the uncle is getting ready to do. Now listen to what he's going to teach him. He's going to teach him something about discipline. It's a shame that I got to find Edomite or different people. You understand? Because I mean, it's illustrated. But I'll tell you this much. Thank the Lord that he got the spirit on IUIC where we're making our own damn movies now.
That's right.
Well, huh? Y'all all right? So we ain't scared. They say, ain't you scared? So scared of what? You understand? If I can think it, I can do it. Let me put it a different way. Here you got a brother in the ghetto, failed chemistry, flunked out of high school, can't do any kind of mathematics at all, but yet he became a supreme chemist when it comes to making crack.
Damn.
So don't tell me that we can't put ourselves to do things that we need to do. Y'all all right? I just have to throw those examples out there. You got to shock the monkey a little bit. Got to do that. Okay? So, hit the button. So you see, pause it, because I know the music killing you, the bagpipes and all of that. The son grabs the sword. That was probably his father's sword. Y'all all right? Because we would do that. You understand? Take the father's heirlooms and such and give it to the son. That's what you do. Y'all all right? Keep that thing going. So he give the father the son, he give the son the father's sword. If that's the case, they didn't really mention that in there, I don't think. But you get my point. So the son grabs the sword, and that's his uncle that's looking at him. Because that's what men supposed to do. They're supposed to look at their sons, look at their children, and monitor their behavior and see which way they're thinking. Even though they ain't saying it, but I know what you're thinking, and I'm going to challenge you on what you're thinking because you might not want to tell me. Well, I'm going to ask anyway. You understand? You got to guide these kids, man. Because if you don't guide them, the drug dealer going to guide them. The prostitute going to guide them. The hole in the street going to guide them. The gang member going to guide. That's what's going to happen when you see your sons out there. They're getting guided and coming home telling you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hit it. Give me that.
First, learn to use this. Then I'll teach you to use this.
Damn. That brought chills down my spine. How y'all feel about that? First, learn how to use this mind first. And if you learn how to use his mind, you might not even have to use this. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Y'all all right? I want y'all to understand me well, because people might miss if I don't put the words out there. I would be the first one to tell you that if you don't have no other option and somebody's trying to take your life and you got a sword, chop their behind up in pieces. I'm not that guy that's going to allow you to beat the hell out of me. But I will try my best. Give me that in the Bible. Give me that, the one that we always let people know what we're about, if it be possible. This is what I'm talking about here. I just want you to know there's a time where you might have to bring that sword up. But you got to use discipline first. And a lot of our people don't do that. I'm going to show you some examples of that. Parental discretion is advised when I get to it. Y'all all right? Yes, and I'm going to say it again. Y'all okay?
Yes, sir.
So what you got for me?
Romans chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible.
If it be possible. I'm trying every possibility. Listen good. Y'all all right? I'm trying every possibility not to have to use the sword. I'm trying every possibility not to use my hands or something, the final result. I'm trying to get the right results before we get there. Pleading. Just like judgments in the body. You get an issue with your brother and sister, you go to them one-on-one first. If that don't work, I take it to the next level. I get the 2 or 3 witnesses. Huh? Matthew 18. Y'all all right? I'm still trying to win you over. Now you ain't hearing that. Now I got to bring you before the body. And even then, I'm still trying to win you over because you get put out. Hopefully, you'll get some sense while you're out there and come back in the right spirit. I've still gained my brother. But if none of that works, the Lord says, I got to do you in. I got to destroy you. But at the end of the day, that sin has to be removed. At the end of the day, that evil cannot be among us. And we're trying to get people to understand that before the last decision is made where the Lord takes you out. Y'all understand? I want y'all to really understand what I'm saying. So our effort is to use every ounce of discipline before we have to resort to the absolute final decision. Y'all all right? Y'all sure y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Read that again.
If it be possible.
If it be possible.
As much as lieth in you.
As much as lieth within me. Every ounce of patience is what's lying in me. Every instance of me trying and pleading, every commandment, every brother or sister that I can bring to help to convince you that you're wrong. I'm trying all of these different things. All of that involves discipline. Why does that bring discipline? I got this because I'm going to get into it. Why is it so hard for our people to do that? Because we have been trained to be an emotional people. The first thing we do is grab a gun. The first thing we do is go stick a knife in them. No kind of thought, no discipline, no nothing. The first thing we want to do is off the brother or off the sister. That's an animal. And that's what we've been trained in this system to do. And the Lord says, okay, I'm going to put you in those conditions, but you better employ discipline. Discipline. Making proper decisions in your trial. That's going to teach you how to be a man. That's going to teach you how to be a leader. That's going to teach you how to be a father. That's going to teach you how to be a brother. Learn that discipline. That's your greatest weapon. Daggone demonic woman. Show that skank hole that we had on the boat. I'm jumping out of sequence just for a second. That fat
damn
thing. That thing there. Put her name up there. What's her name? Fat Jelly Jane. And you know the reason why I'm speaking about, because she slandered IUIC. So I have no thought of being nice to anyone that comes against what we're trying to do in righteousness.
That's right.
I hope you burn in hell.
That's right.
So I ain't going to go through all of these. I just want y'all to see that. But what's her name? Jane Gretton. Put that skank. Jane, the picture you had before, I just want to say her name because I know the brother's going to get it in. She came against us and tried to turn the whole boat against us. That's what this bitch tried to do.
That's right.
I ain't said nothing too bad, did I?
It's in the Bible.
Okay. Jane Gretton Richards. The skank married. Her husband better put a leash on that damn thing. Anyway, where am I at? What was I talking about?
Live peaceably. Peace.
Those are holy words. Those are holy words that I just gave. I didn't say nothing wrong. There's a time and season for all things. Some get back. Just a little bit. The real get back is coming, though. But going back, so let me go back to what I was saying. Going back to what I was saying about discipline. Oh, now I remember. The reason why I put her up here was because she hated the fact that we had discipline. Yeah, let me stay on that for a second. She hated the fact that we had discipline. We seen drunk Edomites all over the boat, tearing the boat up. And as a matter of fact, before we got on it, there was a crew that was on there before us. Albanians and some other people, all Esau. Drunk, tearing the boat up, and nobody said nothing. Here we come on, we off to the side reading the Bible. So that's a problem there for them. Y'all all right? I'm going to get into the psychology on why they act this way. We off to the side. Y'all saw when Bishop brought it out last week. We off to the side, very disciplined and respectable, holding doors and all that. We did all that. Not because we don't want you to say nothing. That's just the way we are. Y'all all right? But they want you to think that we're a hate group. I'm talking about the slander now. They want you to run with a thought because they said it. And again, it's a Jedi mind trick. How in the world could you, as a conquistador, come over and tell us about hate when your whole existence is about the reason why you're here is because of hatred? We were dragged and brought over here on slave ships. That was not an act of love. That was an act of hate that you did, that your fathers and your mothers did, that you're benefiting from. And because we ain't acting and tap dancing and basketball dribbling, because that's what they wanted, singing and all that. They're asking some of us, are y'all basketball players? Are y'all with the band? Stuff like that. That's all they want to see a nigga do. You understand? But if we are operating with sense, reading the Bible and know what we're talking about, they hear the certain break. They say, man, these people know the Bible. You know, you understand what I'm saying? They say, well, how did they learn that? Who taught them? They be asking questions like that. How did these slaves, in their mind, because that's what they think, how did they get out from underneath our influence?
Who learned you?
Who learned you? Who learned you? Who the hell came down? Who the hell told you to come down here and educate my niggers? That's their mentality. So that makes them very uncomfortable if we're minding our business. Y'all all right? No, man. Hold on. There was a video. Did I send it to y'all? Hold it. Say something real quick. I don't think I didn't send it. I got to send it. It was you had this guy that was in a uniform. And he was talking about how they feel when they see you and you don't say nothing to them. Man, Lord have mercy. I wanted to find that, but I'll bring it back. I'll let it go. No, I need that. I think I need that thing now. I need it, man. I need it because it's right on time, too. And I got some other stuff I got to bring out. I'm staying on point. Now I got to find it. I thought I sent it to.
Go ahead and find it, Bishop.
Yeah.
Give me Ecclesiastes 33 and 14. Ecclesiastes 33 and 14.
Yes, sir. Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil.
Ain't that what the Bible said, brothers, sisters? We understand that, right? Good is set against evil. We the good. Read on.
And life against death.
Life against death. Read on.
So is the godly against the sinner.
They see us over there minding our business. They see the good, but it's actually against them. According to Revelation 11:11, we're going to go to that next. I'm going to give Bishop time to find scripture. But good is set against evil and life against death. They see us coming alive. They want to continue to see us dead or in death, decayed, destroyed. Read on.
So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
So we see why these things happen. We understand that now because of what the word of God says. Am I right? Don't every superhero has a villain?
That's right.
Okay. Give me Revelations 11:11.
Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God.
You hear that? The spirit of life from who?
God
They see that. What? Read on.
entered into them.
Entered into them. That's talking about us, the children of Israel. According to Ezekiel 37 and 10. I'm sorry. Am I right?
Ezekiel 37. Yes,
That's
sir.
right. That's right. Okay. Read on.
And they stood upon their feet.
And now they seeing black, Hispanic, Native American men. Y'all see the pictures up on the screen? They see us now with the Bible in our hand, not no guns, not no knives, but with a microphone and a Bible, standing up on our feet. We ain't fighting each other. We ain't cussing each other. We ain't turning tables over. We ain't calling nobody out their name. Read on.
And great fear.
And great what?
Fear.
Fear. It didn't just say little fear. It says, and great fear
Fell upon them which saw them.
is falling upon them because they see us in righteousness. They see black men in unity. We brought it out last night talking about COINTELPRO. Okay. J. Edgar Hoover, what was his mission? Was to keep us separated, not to see a rise of a black Messiah. That's why they had to put a stop to men like Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton. So if they thought that way about them sporadically through time, what you think they thinking now when they see a multitude of men standing up on their feet and gathering together, as according to Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather together, O nation not desired. Am I right? Are we done with that? Or read that again. Read it again.
Yes, sir. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them.
All praises for the spirit of life is from God. It's from God that's entered into us. The spirit of keeping God's laws, statutes, commandments. The spirit of the true image and the spirit of Christ is entering into us. Read on.
And they stood upon their feet.
And that's what we're doing. And they, the children of Israel, the armies of the living God are standing upon their feet and what?
And great fear.
And great fear. They should fear. You remember the fear and the torture that they put us through? Can y'all think back and remember some of the movies we've seen, the stories that we read, the fear that they put upon us?
Right, I got them.
You
scriptures.
think they're not supposed to read that? Go ahead, Bishop.
Yeah, we're going to go through those scriptures. That's further down in my lesson, but it's good to drop them in now because I'm probably going to get to them today. Anyway, y'all got the video? Hit the button, man. Now, this right here, again, I'm taking you back. Sorry for I thought I sent it to them, but I guess I didn't. But anyway, here we are on the boat by Miss Jane Greedy Gretchen, whatever her name is. Y'all all right? She sees her and her cohorts. They see us minding our business, ain't bothering nobody, respectable and all of that. respectable to the staff, the security on the boat, everything. And she wants to lie and send slander out to get the people to turn against us and started a whole chat against us while we were there. Y'all all right? That shows you the enemy, how they think. When they see you in order and disciplined. My point is, our discipline was worse to them than if we were robbing and stealing and doing the things that they programmed us to do. That's why I'm showing this. So I had to find this video. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Listen good to what I'm saying. If we're out here hoeing, robbing, stick 'em up, raping, drinking, drug shooting, all the madness, they're comfortable with that. If we're singing, tap dancing, rapping, entertaining them, they're happy with that. But if we're over to ourselves, going over scriptures, they said, that ain't what black people are supposed to be doing. We didn't bring them here for that. Where's Harvey? You understand? We got to do something about this. That's how they think. They said, what are they thinking? What are y'all doing? Nervous. Hit the button. This is what this brother, when I saw this, I'm amazed that I had to look for it. But this is it. Hit it. Watch this. This is going to do it all. Hit the button.
White people want you to act.
Turn it up. Stop. I want the volume up. I think you're going to let some 4-letter words out, so just bear with me. Parental discretion is advised. I will say that. And I will say this also. You know, we want to make sure that, because I have to say this, certain things come with a little bit of harsh language. I don't condone it. We don't condone it. You understand? But I have to, sometimes it has to drop here and there, because you hear that all day in the street. I'm not justifying it. I'm just letting you know what it is. But what you're about to hear here is very telling. So just show it before you play it. Show what you got up there on the screen. Notice how the picture looks. I don't know who did this video. This is pretty good. You got Esau at the top in the family. You got all the Edomites sitting around, and you got one ink spot. That's what they would call them. That used to be a record group, wasn't it? Singing the Ink Spots. I'm going way back. Who could talk to me? Where my old heads at? Can I get a witness? Huh? The Ink Spots, the brothers just nodding. Come on, tell me now. Tell me. Okay, I think that's what they would call the Ink Spots, right? Huh? Can I get a witness? All right. Well, anyway, they got one up here with the dog. And you got the brother on the bottom. He's saying, overly friendly. This is what white people want. They want us like this. Now, before we even play it, where is this black man's culture at? He is in a whole world and a whole cesspool of Edomites. He cannot mention, can you imagine him saying, guess what, guys? Jesus Christ is black. You already know he can't say that.
At all.
Huh? At all. He can't even think of this. I see you thinking like you might want to say that. Y'all already know. Y'all dig it? Everybody nod because they know. When you get around Esau on your job, just like you have to change into somebody else. They're used to us being that way. You cannot be you. That ain't hate talking. That's reality. Y'all all right? Hit the button.
White people want you to act like a puppy. You know what acting like a puppy is? You got to be tail wagging. When you see a white person, hey, how's your day going? Hi, like, hi, hey, hi, how's your day going? Hi. That's the type of personality white people like. Like a fucking puppy. That's what they want you to act like. If you really think about what I'm telling you, that's what it is. If you come into an environment where it's a bunch of white people and you sit to yourself and you're by yourself, you're on your phone, you're minding your business, a lot of white people feel like that's disrespectful.
That's what they were saying about us. They said that we were disrespectful. They said we were disrespectful to the staff. That's what they were saying about. Play it again and turn it up. This thing mimicked exactly what we went through. That shows you that these people are sick. But I'm going to say this here while time is still with me. I'm not just saying that out of racial anger. Or you know how people would say, oh, he's just emotional. He's just saying, okay. I'm telling you that God made these people the way they are. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Personally, I don't have a problem with them. I know their purpose. They don't like me knowing it, but I know their purpose. Right. Some people say that they can't understand the reason why they're so violent and so natural born killer instinct type of people. Why they have that snake mentality to bite you and laugh while you're dying. Some people say they don't understand that. I perfectly understand the reason why they do it. God made them that way, but that ain't the full answer. Yes, God made them that way, but I want you to think about them being paranoid when they know that they don't have all the time that you have. Understand what I'm saying? They have a time limit to rule. After that, that is it. The book of Obadiah says that every last one of them will be rounded up and set on fire by the command of the Most High, for the Lord has spoken it. So they know that every minute that goes by, they're getting closer and closer to that demise. How would you act if that was your fate that you could not escape? Though he sought it carefully with tears, can't get it. Y'all dig it? Yes, sir. So they have to do these things. Their objective is to prolong this wicked kingdom as long as they can, because they know once it's over, it is over. That's the fury behind their spirit. And you trying to go to bed with them. You're trying to love them and let them in your family and all types of. You don't understand what you're dealing with. Then when the snake bites you, you know I was a snake. Y'all all right? I'm just saying these things. Play that thing again, man. And this is not hate. So hold it. This is not hate speech. This is information that's in the Bible. Oh, wait a minute. I said it's in the Bible, didn't I? Job 14:4. Let me just show you their mentality. Job 14:4. Then we're going to play this again.
Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
If God made it crooked, you cannot make it straight. If God made it unclean, you cannot make it clean. Go ahead.
Not one.
Not one. Nobody can change what God made. If he made one vessel of the pot to use to drink out of, and he made the other one to move his bowels in, the pot that was made as a commode can't jump up and say, why did you make me the goblet that you drink from? It can't do that because it was made to fulfill God's purpose. They know that. Their scholars know that. They have that written in their dictionaries. Can you show that real quick? Show me that in their dictionary. I'm going out of sync for just a second. Show me that in the dictionary. I put it up there. Show the cover of the dictionary first so they can see where it's at. I want you to see that their scholars know this. Look at that. The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Negroes had nothing to do with the writing of this dictionary. That's number one. Y'all all right? Now let's go inside of it. Go ahead. What did it say?
Edom figures prominently.
I highlighted prominently for a reason. Because they try to say that Edom was in the Old Testament and he dead and gone. Prominently means all over the Bible. Edom is all over the Bible, all the way up into the dragon that fought against Christ. That great red dragon is them. That's why it's red, because they are red, like the book of Edom, like it says about Edom, is red. They know that's them. Their scholars know that that's them. This is beginner stuff that I'm showing y'all, but it's heavy. This is what you're dealing with. They might be nice to you. Don't get me wrong. Nice on your jobs, because you go to your jobs Monday morning and so forth. You ain't got to be acting all crazy. Be nice to them and all that. We got no problem. If something happened, you fall or something, we'll call the ambulance.
You're right.
Don't get me wrong. No, because I have to say these things, because some people be like, oh, man, let them die. No, call the authorities. Get the man some help. We don't teach that foolishness that people say they try to slander and say about us. That's not us. But we know the Bible. But what the Bible says, Edom figures prominently. Go ahead.
In the prophetic scriptures.
In the prophetic scriptures, meaning the scriptures are prophecy, meaning future. Go ahead.
As the scene of great future judgments.
As a scene of what?
Great future judgments.
Future judgments. Put the camera on me. Future judgments. Great future judgments.
Right.
Future judgments. And then they got the scriptures. They know this is about them. Isaiah 34:5 is talking about Idumea. Isaiah 63, who is this that cometh from Edom with his garments dyed in Bozrah? Christ said, it is me, I, righteous to save. He said, okay, well, why are your garments all bloody? He said, because I trod in the winepress alone. Damn. And there was none with me. So Christ is seen smashing bodies with his feet. And there is Edom. It says, who is this that cometh from Bozrah? Bozrah is the capital of Edom. He's talking about the Edomites. They know this. That's why it's in their dictionary. They know this. So you trying to figure out why they acting crazy? This is telling you why they know this is their fate. Hebrews 12:16, they know this is theirs. Why do you think this guy, what's his name? Moscav, Malone, whatever his name is, that dude. Why do you think he's cutting up? I like it. I like it because he's an indication of me. He's an indication to me that he's losing it. I love that. I love that. Why? Because he's attacking us. So I have no, but again, if I see him in the street, I call the ambulance, get this thing up and take him and patch him up or whatever. I'll do that. Y'all all right? I might do that. Y'all all right? But I ain't no hate been helping here. Y'all okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, just a little something. So it says what? Great future judgments.
She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from God.
Did y'all see that? They wrote that. They know that that's them. So with them knowing that in their spirit, when they see us on the boat, put my brother back up there. When they see us on the boat, of mind our business, their thought is, what are they thinking? Are they planning our doom before our time? That's Matthew. Are you here to torment us before our time? You got to know what's the spirit in these people. That's what we represent to them. They're waking up. They're looking at God's prophecy in the Bible. Then they say, how do we know that our end is near? It's because I see them Israelites waking up. That's Ezekiel 37. They see that. So they know that this book is for real. They try to make you think it's garbage, but they know it's real. So they see us minding our business. Nobody could have been as more respectful, as more nice in order. You had people coming up and saying how much in order we were. When we get off the boat and everything, all order, neat, respectable, clean. That's what they see. And that makes them very nervous. We need y'all to be rambunctious. That's what they're saying. We need y'all to be wild and crazy. We need y'all to be basketball players and this and that and the other, and that be the whole totality of your being. Just entertain us. Don't think like real men. Don't think like fathers. Don't think like real brothers and leaders. Don't think like that. Because if you're thinking like that, you might figure this whole thing out. And the faster you wake up, the faster we go into captivity. The faster we go down. And we trying to prolong and hold on to this raggedy car for as long as we can. Called America. Y'all all right? So I'm just saying those things. All right, hit the button.
White people want you to act like a puppy. You know what acting like a puppy is? You got to be tail wagging. When you see a white person, hey, how's your day going? Hi, like, hi, hey, hi, how's your day going? Hi. That's the type of personality white people like. Like a fucking puppy. That's what they want you to act like. If you really think about what I'm telling you, that's what it is. If you come into an environment where it's a bunch of white people and you sit to yourself and you're by yourself, you're on your phone, you're minding your business, A lot of white people feel like that's disrespectful.
You hear that? That's what they were saying. They said that we were intimidating. We were intimidating. We were intimidating. That's what they were saying. So again, I'm not bugging out. I'm just letting you know the world that we're in. Y'all all right? So we passed that. All right, let me move on. So I showed y'all the Braveheart clip, right? It's about us being able to apply discipline in your decision making. We cannot be impulse, always be reactive, emotional. Going off, flying off the handle. You get in big trouble for stuff like that. And you'll regret it the rest of your days. Let us use some intelligence. God gave us that. Y'all all right? Because your discipline, like I wrote in the beginning, is the greatest weapon you have. Your discipline. Not no gun, not no knife, not no this, some weapon or something. The weapons of our warfare, because we are at war. That's why the Bible says for the weapons of our warfare means you're at war. But God is telling you what weapons you need. He's saying the weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but they are spiritual. Meaning think, organize, stop the evil. That is more of a threat to an oppressor than you run around with a gun. Then you run around sticking up this and that because you were emotional, because you put nothing in place for your children. You put nothing in place for your family. You put nothing in place for your brothers and sisters. Now they got to resort to trying to find this and find that. Look at this here. Put that mess up there. Look at this crap. All of them going to damn jail to get rammed by Bubba. The hell is this?
The health inspector.
The health inspector. Comb the chest. Comb my chest. And look at it while you're doing it. Better not hurt. Tell a dude to comb the chest, comb his taco meat. He gonna be getting there. He said, I'm gonna treat you like a beef. Stand up. Got the guy standing up. Grab the comb. Made him grab that comb. He said, comb it. Comb the chest, dog. Comb it. He look, comb it. He said, it better not hurt. And look while you're doing it. I want you to put care into it. Broke him all the way down. That's what it means when he said, make it. He said, and I want you to look while you're doing it. I want you to pay attention and make sure that it don't hurt. Don't let it snag. Do it with tenderness. That's where these kind of dudes gonna end up. But they'll show you this all on TV. How come I don't see a group of them reading books? How come I don't see a group of them in fringes, reading the Bible, dealing with their family, dealing with their brothers? You don't see that on these daggone media points, do you? Talk to me.
No, sir.
Because this is what they want. You try to do something positive, it gets no airplay. But this mess will run all day long. You don't get to retire in this at all. Ain't no retired OGs. The hell is this? All right, brothers. Lord have mercy. But these are the things that, when I talk about us emotion, this is what they want from us. Some of these girls are running around talking about something, yeah, I want to deal with a guy like that. No, you're on your own. Get out. And stay out. And I ain't coming to your funeral either. No, you want to deal with somebody like that, you and I have done. That's how you fathers got to be. You cannot tolerate this kind of stuff at all on no level. You got to mean business. Don't put up with none of this crap. All right, I didn't digress. I didn't go all the way off. I'm still on it. So read that in the Bible again about the weapons of our warfare. Let me get back to my thing. I'm about to get it in. I'm about to get it in. What the hell are you talking about? We already more than halfway done. Time-wise. Look where I'm at, Ezekiel. First line. Read.
2 Corinthians 10 and 3.
But hold on. I said first line because we're reading a lot of scriptures that's not on my paperwork, but it fits in the lesson. Y'all all right? Sisters, y'all okay? It's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Hit me.
2 Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
We do not war after the flesh. So we're in a carnal world. We're in a carnal society, and you're being tempted by carnal means. You're being tempted, being drawn in, and you have to apply discipline to make the right decision at the right moment. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
That's the greatest thing that I want every last one of y'all to know right now. That's here and online. Always let that discipline go first. Put your impulse decision, your temptations, put all that to the side and think first. What would be the result if I do this and I do that? We're men and women with intelligence. See yourselves that way. Unless somebody try to boil you down to less than great, employ that discipline that God gave you. And think about, there are things that I could talk about in my life where I had to make the right decisions, and I thought about if I would have made another decision, I know I would not have been here today. I've made some life and death decisions coming up. And if I didn't think properly, y'all would have never known me. I'd have been gone a long time ago. In New York, I'd have been gone a long time ago. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just telling y'all these things. You know.
Verse 4.
Where we at? What
2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
Yeah, read.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
They are not carnal. So forget the gun, forget the knife, forget the sword. When I say forget it, let that be the last option. If you're legal to have it. Let's put it that way. We deal with legality up here. Y'all all right? I want y'all to just understand these things. Somebody comes, busts down your doorway, you ain't got time to be like, sir, please, no. He coming in with waving 4-4s. Hopefully you got something bigger than that can teach him a lesson for a few seconds. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Y'all get my drift, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether I should call the ambulance or the garbage truck after. But y'all get me, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to leave it at that. We don't want to go there. You put the signs up, please don't. You give the warnings. You get your stickers on your lawn and all that. Those of you that got that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Warning, surveillance. You got all them signs that's supposed to let people know, hey, let me think. That's you pleading. You're going to go past that. You left me no choice. But I'm trying not to go there. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I'll leave that before I go too far. So read.
But mighty through God.
So our decisions in discipline are mighty when we apply them in the commandments of God. That is the greatest weapon you have. The greatest weapon you have. The greatest weapon you have. That with some unity, that's what the threat is. That's what the threat is. They said they can't be unified. They can't be organized because their organization represents our demise. We can't have that. Are y'all showing me the pictures or they showing on the screen? Y'all showing them all into me. Are they going up? Y'all, a whole lot of them y'all just miss. As I always say, brothers, y'all over there on the side, I don't want to have to be directing what's going on over there. Y'all all right? I know y'all checking to see if I improve of it. You can drop them in. You understand? If it ain't taking me off the topic, put it up in there. But for me to have to stop going into what I'm going into to tell y'all what to do. That breaks the spirit. I'm trying to exercise some discipline here to keep from throwing something over there. Now, let me stop. I'm just kidding. Y'all all right? All right. So read that again, Liam.
Yes,
read from the top of that to that, like the 6th verse, where it says, when your obedience. I want to go to that verse.
Yes, sir.
Start it off what you started before and just read through it.
2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
We do not war. Although we're in a carnal world, it is our duty and our desire to try to operate as peacefully as we can. That's the objective. And if I can win this over without having to resort, just like we showed you in the beginning, learn to use this, and it'll teach you how to use this. Y'all feel me? When everything else is exhausted, that's when you have to use this. That's the point. That's when you can read Ecclesiastes when it says a time to kill. That's when that is appropriate. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not afraid to tell the truth. I don't care if people don't like it. I'm going to say what that Bible says. But I'm trying my best to not go there. Y'all feel me? So as we read that again.
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
We do not war after the flesh. We do not operate fleshly like our brothers and sisters in their emotionalness, what they would do. Go ahead.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Because our weapon is discipline in applying God's laws, in applying God's commandments, being wise women, wise men to make proper decisions in the face of temptation, in the face of some slick dude trying to talk in your ears to get inside your underwear. Your wisdom better come up, or you're going to end up in a world of trouble. Think. And if he keeps bothering you, keeps on messing around, then you got to, some of you carry some stuff. Right. Some of y'all, which is all right. Y'all all right? I ain't trying to advocate that thing, but listen, man, you know, you now you're going too far. Now you put my life in danger. You know how to you know the protocols of your stuff, right? You know, I'm in danger. You got to feel the heat. So I'm going to leave it there. But you don't want to get caught up into nothing like that. So try to apply the discipline to back things off. In all cases, that's what we try to do. But if you keep on advancing to the point where my life is in danger, now you got to deal with the sword. Y'all all right? So I keep saying I'm going to get off that thing, but I'm going to get off of it now. I say that because, again, our people are incubated in this wicked society to pull the sword and the gun out first. That's the first thing that comes to our mind because we apply no discipline at all, no kind of wisdom, no kind of nothing. And because discipline and wisdom is hard for some of our people because our people are trained to be emotional. Sometimes the demons could get on us so fast, you might regret that you didn't blast them. Let's say I'm going too far now. I'm talking about in the mind, like you avoided a fight, you avoided an argument. And then your friend said, man, you should have went on and fought, man. You should have whipped that ass. You should have blah, blah, blah. You're happy. Come on, talk to me. Instigators.
Right.
And you'll be going home saying, yeah, man, I wish he would have did something so I could have used the smoke. That's the temptation. Because we in this system, that's what they make us to be. But you're operating outside of that. They say, well, where did you get this kind of thinking from? And he had the smoke on him and he didn't use it. No, I didn't have to use it because I was able to talk to my brother. You know what? I saw a video. This video was heavy and I didn't record it. I don't have it, but I'll tell you about it. There was a camera in a man's yard. Here's a perfect example. Y'all all right? Y'all can look for it later. But I'll tell you about it. I try to be as descriptive as I can be. Man, this was beautiful. I wish I could find it. It was a video camera, a security camera in a man's yard, and he had a grill thing out there. And he was in the backyard, and a dude came to rob him. Had the gun out and all of that. And the owner came out with the Mossberg, the big deal, the double up. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
He said, well, I'm outgunned on this one. And the brother didn't shoot him. It's a beautiful thing what I'm telling y'all. He put the thing to the brother. The little scared punk dude with the gun think he gonna make some big score. The OG that used to be in the life. He said, listen, young blood, I already know where you're coming from. Put that thing down, brother. You don't want to go out like this. I used to do that. Let's sit down and talk. And they talked it out. Y'all got it? Did y'all find the video? No, they don't know what to talk about. Damn. Huh, you got it? Send it to them, man. Send that thing to them. Send it to them. You got to see this. Listen to this one. Watch this. Watch this. Just watch this here. Again, this is an example of discipline. Because believe it or not, the homeowner might have went to jail. You follow me? The homeowner, even though he pulled a gun on him, somehow, some way, sometimes these things turn around and the homeowner get in trouble. I don't know the full scope of this. You know, they got all the lawyer things that can fight for them and all that. But hit the button, man. Watch this. It says, save our youth. That's what they got up here. Put the thing on the screen. Well, the one I had didn't have somebody talking about it, but it's all right. I'll take it. Hope he ain't talking. He better make some sense. I don't like when people be talking over the video and they miss the point. Y'all all right? It says, save our youth. Okay. So here it is. This is the thing I was talking about. He got the grill. He got the young thug come up. He got the gun. He's trying to rob out. He probably looking to break inside the man's house or whatever, right? Go ahead. Hit it.
What's up, bro? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Chill, man.
Chill.
You all right? All right. It ain't got to be like this, man. Don't got to be like this. We can talk. I just want to go on by my way. Hey, just chill for a minute. Just let me talk to you, all right? I'm going to put mine down. You put yours down. Let's talk. I just want to go on by my way, though. Hey, everything going to be all right, bro. All we got to do is talk, all right? Hey,
Yeah,
I done been there, dog.
Head out the way so I can see.
I done been
Go ahead. Play on.
that side. All you got to do is talk to me, dog. What's wrong, man?
What? No, stop.
What's wrong? Like-
What's the world wrong with Negroes? They always messing the damn video up. Damn. I'm trying to dig what's going on in the background. He's sitting up in there. Yeah, man, big ass head. Cover up the whole thing. Shoot. I'm trying to dig it what it's saying. Go ahead, man.
A lot of things going on. All right, you got to put that down, though, so we can talk. And let's talk about what you got going on. I promise you. Bro, I ain't going to call the police or nothing. But you got to talk to me, all right?
So you notice how he's talking
Can't
to him.
do it like that.
Hold it. He said, I ain't going to call Popo or nothing. He's not saying that because he shouldn't call him. He's saying that because he already know the mindset of this kid. You understand? He's like, okay, you got the gun on me, you about to mess me up and all that. But he flipped the whole script. He said, listen, I was on that side already. I already know what's going on with you. You need a father figure such and such. Let me sit down and talk with you. You understand? That's a big risk. But my point is he made a decision. Because most times you pull a gun on somebody, the fire coming out. You dig it? So it could have just went down like boom. And that would have been the end of him. Not a mama crying. He was a good boy, showing his his high school pictures and all that. But he running around with a video with this kind of madness here. What you got, Cap? You got the red version? I would get rid of this, man. I want to put the right one up there. I want y'all to hear what he's saying. All right, just bear with me, brothers and sisters. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Bear with me.
You are now.
I ain't gonna let y'all off the hook. I know, I'm gonna get y'all back in step. All right, what we got here? Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there.
No,
wow. Come on, open it up.
What's up, bro? Oh. Chill, man. You alright? Alright. It ain't gotta be like this, man. Don't gotta be like this. We can talk. I just wanna go on by my way. Hey, just chill for a minute. Just let me talk to you, alright? I'm gonna put mine down, you put yours down. Let's talk. I just wanna go on by my way, though. Hey, everything gonna be alright, bro. All we gotta do is talk, alright? Hey, I done been there, dog.
Now pause it. He letting him go. I want you to understand that this old brother, he got love for this kid. He said, because if I let you go, you're going to mess around and do this again and end up dead. So he's thinking beyond the moment. I ain't telling anybody to do this. I'm just making the point. Don't get me wrong. I ain't telling nobody to do nothing like this. With these little YNs out here now, you end up dead. I don't know. I ain't got the, you understand what I'm saying? Let me just leave it there. But he's trying to talk to the brother. I've been there. Huh?
But Bishop, he's scared. His finger's not even on the trigger.
I know that. Exactly. He is definitely scared. When he came out there with that steel on him. Whoa. He did one of them. He said, yo. He said, okay, I know you're scared. Let us talk. I ain't going to call Paul or nothing. Still need to call him. He shouldn't be running around here like this, but I'm going to leave that to the side. Somebody be like, why am I saying that? I'm just leave that to the side. Just deal with what's happening here. He said, listen, man, I've been on that side before. You need some fatherly advice. Come sit down. Let me talk to you. Hopefully, I could prevent you from doing this. Maybe I could tell you how to make some money legally, get a job, such and such. You understand? These are the kind of mentors that comes with proper decision making. And I say proper decision making because in some worlds, some realms, this ain't proper. You understand? You coming up there with that thing like that, like I said before, I just pray that things will work out. But, that's a little bit too close to the edge. If I would have saw you coming, then maybe I could say something. But you're already there with the steel on me. The decision is made. But it looks like this brother, the older man, wait, put the thing back on the screen, brothers. Jesus. This brother with the big dad, with the big thing, with the Mossberg. I ain't gonna, people say I know too much. But he holding it up there. He said, I need to talk to this brother. Y'all feel me? So they're having that, you want to have that conversation with him. And hopefully he could turn his brother around. And you'll never know. He might come up later after some years, got his degree in something. You understand? And he might come back and he might remember. He said, you know what? That day you could have ended my life. But you sat down with me. You took a risk. And you talked to me. And I really appreciate that. Now I got a family. I got such and such. And we just wanted to thank you, my brother. Kind of thing like that. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be awesome. And that's what my brother is really trying to do to him. Okay? Play the rest of it.
I've been on that side.
I've been on that side.
Talk to me, dog. What's wrong, man? What's wrong? A lot of things going on. All right, you got to put that down, though, so we can talk.
I think he said life ain't going well for him, something like that, right? I heard him say something. I couldn't tell what it was. He said a lot of things going on. Yeah, I ain't got no dad. I got no role model. I got no this. I've failed school, such and such. A lot of problems. Probably said I got a baby on the way. All kind of crap that these guys be into. And the OG brother said, listen, I've been over there. Let's talk, man. Don't end it like this. Man, that's heavy. Go ahead.
What you got going on, I promise you. Bro, I ain't gonna call the police or nothing. But you gotta talk to me, all right? You can't do it like this. Let's just talk, bro. You wanna make some money? Let's talk about making some money. All right? All right? This ain't the life you wanna live, bro. Come talk to me. I'm putting mine down now. Come on in. Come talk to me, man. This is my brother, man. All right? My little brother. Let's talk about your little brother in the house, dog. Let's get from out here. All right?
Pause it. I got to say something. Yeah, all that. But wait. And you see the guy still holding it. But what that showed you, because I can't advocate that anybody do that. But what that showed me is that he knew that he had him. He knew he had him.
He went over.
You understand? He knew that he said, I already got inside his spirit. I know he's willing to talk. He ain't gonna turn around because I connected with him. That's an OG for real. You understand? So, yeah, go ahead. Huh? Yeah, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. I had to break it down. I know brothers don't like when I talk too much, but I want to make sure that these points get out there. I got to be making points. But that other video had all that head up in there. He wasn't saying that. He was messing it all up. Go ahead, play it on out. So they go in the house and talk.
I like the message of this video, to talk things out before resorting to extreme measures. I don't want to question the legitimacy of this video because something like this can really happen. But I do want to point out the things that I found wrong with this video. Number one, never turn your back on an assailant, especially if you have the upper hand. I just don't see why this guy would turn his back, especially when he knows this guy was just armed trying to break in his house. It doesn't make any sense. Number two, in most states, the castle doctrine means that you can protect the inside of your home. To come outside of your house with a shotgun is a vigilante move. If you see someone creeping around your backyard,
pause it. That's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was saying. The laws might be different. He would have used that and he would have been in trouble. Inside the house, you're all right. They got to break your door down, all that, the castle. But you come outside, you didn't have to come outside to meet the danger. So he would have got jammed up. But he was smart enough to see through all of that. Go ahead.
911 first. And if they break into your house, then you have the right to protect yourself. But don't go outside looking for trouble. The best thing to do to protect yourself and your family is to stay behind the doors. Doorbell news, crime watch.
All right, so that was it on that, right? Okay, all right, we can stop that. That's a hell of a video, right, brothers?
Yes, it was.
What y'all think about that? All right, all praise to the Most High.
Youth violence.
So I say all of that to get to what I want to get to. Again, many of our youth are caught up into these kinds of activities. Women are in all kind of mess. Brothers are in all kind of mess. And we're in this mess. And we always react emotionally. Okay? Our quest is to rescue those brothers. Our quest is to rescue those sisters with the Bible. That's why I say I'm talking about the quest now. That's why we go overseas. We go to these countries. We're trying to resurrect and bring our people out of conditions like this here. So like I said before, I know I didn't say it on camera, but when we do these, I guess what they call it, excursions and quests and all that, this is no vacation for us at all. This is about the work of trying to save our brothers and sisters because they really need it. We need it ourselves. But we want to not only be with us, we want to spread that among our brothers to clean us all up. We've been defiled among the dead. We've been made in all types of evil. But the Lord had enough mercy on us to resurrect us, to give us his Bible, to give us his holy word, to go in and clean these brothers up, to clean these sisters up. And when we bring this program out to our brothers and sisters, the objective is for them to come, get themselves right, and start the new trend of righteousness. Transform. Be renewed. Come back to righteousness. And while we're doing this, our enemies are trying to slander us to keep us from that. So that's what I was saying in terms of this class that I'm bringing out, right? So now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. How much time I got? Okay, I got a half an hour at least. I'm going to drop it on you. Y'all all right? I showed y'all the Braveheart clip, to employ discipline. It's obvious that our people don't learn discipline in this system at all. We're encouraged to shoot. We're encouraged to kill, to do all kinds of emotional responses and don't apply any kind of discipline. no kind of forethought in where things could go if we just simply make the wrong decision. And many of us have paid, or some people out here, maybe not necessarily in here, but some people are still paying for decisions that they did 20 years ago. Y'all understand me?
Yes, sir.
And if you was able to trade all of those years for that one moment, I guess you would be like, man, I'm not doing this because I already see 20 years of a hellacious system, a hellacious situation. But you don't think at that moment. We have to learn how to think at that moment. I remember I attended a youth center. I won't go into the details about that. And I remember the woman speaking, and she said that she tries to talk to young men before they get into doing harm to each other, whether it's retaliation or just some girl said this or guy did that and talked about your mom or whatever the case is. Think beyond the moment. That's what she said. Think beyond the moment. Because we don't do that. We don't think beyond the moment. We only think about the moment, the immediate gratification of how it feels that I done put 2 hot ones in this brother. It felt good, you might say to yourself, because I feel a sense of power. And then right after that, your life is ruined. And you'll be living that life, that whole ruined life. And you would think back, man, I wish I could have traded and just walked away or such and such, and I wouldn't have to go through none of this. Total regret for years and years and years. Miserable. We have to learn to think before we act. And that's the point. So, I'm getting ready to play another video. Parental discretion is advised. I'll just make this point. I will say that our people are given weapons to destroy each other through misplaced aggression. You've heard that term before, right? We're in the ghettos. We're trapped. We're surrounded, especially if you're in New York. That's a cage. Everybody's on top of each other. Get on the elevators. It's got all types of, if you're in the projects. Yo, it was wild in the PJs. With that Dave Chappelle. The elevators got all kind of stuff on the floor. Urine and all that. Yeah, for real. That just mess your whole spirit up. And then you got to walk into your house, hoping that you try to find a dry corner in the elevator so that you don't splash it on your feet. Imagine going through that every day. You get on the elevator. And that's with you. That's the stuff that people live in. So, misplaced aggression. No man likes that. Here you got your wife, your kids with you. You got to make sure that they don't step in it. They looking at it, say, Daddy, why can't we go somewhere better than this? Now you're feeling like a chump. Now you got that on your back. Wife looking at you. So-and-so just moved out. How come you ain't moved out yet? You understand? Whatever. So those kinds of things. All of that misplaced aggression is what makes you seek immediate gratification when somebody steps on your toes or when somebody brushes up against your shoes or when somebody just says something. Because now you got this chip on your shoulder. You're mad. And the only people you got to take it out on is the brothers and sisters right around you. You understand me? This is what's going on with our people. So like I said, our people are given weapons. I'm talking about they get weapons from any damn way. They got all kind of weapons in New York, and it's illegal. So how the hell they get it? Because they're being brought in. Given weapons to destroy each other through misplaced aggression. Misplaced aggression is the direct result where discipline is absent. Having no discipline and oppression brings on what is known as behavioral sink. I just said something there. Behavioral sink. Who has ever heard of that term before? Some people think it's a theory that's not true, so there's controversy on it, but who has not heard of this term called behavioral sink? Raise your hands. Have not heard it. So hardly nobody. The whole class is up. All right, Liam, you on? Read.
Yes, sir.
Show it on the board.
A behavioral sink refers to a state of social and behavioral decline in a population, particularly when it's overcrowded and has ample resources, according to the Basic Guide. This term was coined by ethologist John B. Calhoun after studying the effects of population density on rodents. In essence, it describes how...
You notice it said on rodents. So they literally did an experiment and put a bunch of rats in a cage and watched them over time destroy themselves.
That's right.
That's the reason why it's so controversial. But it has a lot of elements of truth in it. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
That's where that misplaced aggression and all that stuff comes from. Read.
In essence, it describes how overpopulation and lack of social structure can lead to a breakdown of normal social behavior.
It's not normal to have to pull a damn gun out for every argument. Pull a knife out or something for every argument. It's like you have no intelligence to talk things out, to explain things. None at all. Go ahead.
Sometimes with negative consequences.
Meaning lifelong jail, prison consequences that stay on your record forever. Y'all all right? These are the kinds of things that they were talking about when they mentioned this term called behavioral sink. Like I said, y'all can do your research on it because it's a very deep, it goes deep. What I wanted to say about it, there's many things contribute to this thing because like you said about resources not being plentiful. Housing not being plentiful. You got people on top of you, on the side of you, fighting over parking spaces, all types of stuff. Yo, I'm telling you, it would really get to that head. You struggling, you got to go to work, got to get up the next morning, such and such. You had to damn near sleep in the car all night.
That's right.
Because you can't find parking. The minute you do it, you get a ticket. Talking about some towing your car, it's in judgment. Now that's more money out of your pocket. People live like this. So you feel that oppression. And the easiest thing for somebody to do is say, well, you spoke to me wrong. You yelled at me. You said something to my woman. You said her butt looked like this or whatever. Bam, bam, bam. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
And yet you feel you did something because you could not think, because you're oppressed, repressed, all types of press. Damn. And there's nobody in the community that's trying to organize the people together. Here we come as IUIC, trying to work with the brothers, working with and talking with different programs, people that run different, because we work with other organizations to a degree. You know, we said, listen, y'all good at such and such, let's hear how you would do it. You understand? And we congratulate those brothers and those sisters or the people that deal with these particular things outside of us. Y'all all right? Because these people need help. Our people need that help. Okay? Even like when we do the cleanup community, which is us. Brothers and sisters showing, take some dignity and some pride in where you live. Because believe me, that's reciprocal. Brothers and sisters will see that and say, well, damn, they had enough respect to come in our neighborhood and clean it up. Maybe we should join them. And that could turn into everything positive. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, behavioral sink. Let me give you an example. I got a video. Like I said, parental discretion is advised. Show it on the board. Listen to this here. Man kills another man because he asked his girlfriend to buy something because he had no ID. Now, wait a minute now. Before you hit the button, because I ain't going to talk. This is very clear. Is, parental discretion. But this is a situation perhaps where the man doesn't have the proper ID or don't have a driver's license or something, might have gotten it messed up doing something else, but he wants something that he can't get himself. So sometimes they try to get other people to get it for him. You see that, especially in New York, a lot of times with what I call the NIG window, which I say I ain't never going to patronize. If you don't give me the dignity to come in there and check and pick what I want off the shelf, I ain't giving you nothing. You're going to serve me at some damn window. Are you crazy? No. That's disrespectful as hell, but that's the kind of situation that's going on here. Play it. Hit the button.
Can I get a pack of Capri Ones when you make that long? 19.
Now, what do y'all think about that?
No discipline.
That's going on in these areas. Now, the decision, because you know they're going to find him. He's effed for life. Now, I had some slides. Go down to the comments on this video, because a lot of people probably don't know what happened. Just read some of that, Liam. Just read it.
It's a Sly Fox. He says, I bet you the man was raised with a single mother. Nobody fight anymore.
Next one.
Not a single reason shown here to take someone's life, though. Weak man. You have to end a life to prove your dominance.
So this was a case where the man said something to the man's girlfriend with her butt sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
His jealousy and insecurities got him behind bars. Now she's rid of him. No more Popeyes. Damn.
Yeah, but our people are something else. But go to the next one.
The suspect, as always, is the same color. If they don't respond with their fists, it's with bullets.
Go ahead.
Usual suspects. Just let them do their thing. They taking themselves out.
You hear the cynical? You hear? Next one.
That's Esau.
Yeah, you know that's who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The Brown Power Ranger. They both going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Sad we kill our own like this. Crabs in a bucket. Another post said, dude looked at his girlfriend, shaking my head. Either.
Is there another one?
Another post said, dude looked at his girlfriend. Either this don't make sense or for what? Shaking my head. She is getting arrested too. She waited and watched.
She waited and watched. Behavioral sink. Behavioral sink. Now. This is basically like I call a hood rat situation. That's crazy. But this is the reality that's out here. And trying to save our people from this kind of stuff is going to take a lot of hard work. And they have to see discipline. Show the pictures of us doing our thing. Show them pictures again. I'm going to read one more thing. I had a whole lot that I need to go into. Just so y'all speak of this. I want to look for something before I just end it. I want to go over some things just before I bring it on out. Come on, brothers.
Sir.
So, brothers and sisters, what you see there? That's exactly right. Zephaniah 2:1. You see unity. It takes the renewing of the mind to bring that together. Am I right? You imagine all the men that you see right there at some point in time was in circumstances like what we just saw. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
A lot of you can think back now that I remember when I was there, or I remember I was in that confrontation, or I remember I was in the club, or I was here, or at this woman's house, or at this man's house. The same situation we see, all praise to the Most High, for his grace, his mercy, that could have happened to us. Am I right? Over what? Foolishness. For what? Brother, just step on the shoes. Y'all know how it goes down. We see it all the time. They put the movies, the shows out there. We think that's supposed to be it. That's what they're showing to our young kids. That's what they're showing to our young women. They think that's life. They think that's the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. That media, okay, the TikTok, the YouTubes, all that is a bunch of mess. Now, they easily put that out there, but now when we show pictures like what we're showing now, the unity, we can't see that, do we? We don't. Yeah, you don't see that. They won't put that on the news. They won't put that on the TikTok. Bishop?
Yes, sir. That's correct. I just got a message. Somebody was familiar with what happened to the dude. He said, they found the guy. He's an old, dried-up Chicago street wannabe rapper. So he's in jail. They got the woman. They got everybody. But one of the things I noticed was, did you see how casual he was when he did it? I knew that wasn't the first. He did it with, I mean, he even leaned, you know, how you got like the tiptoe to make sure that you get the actual force on the arm and all that. He'd been doing that. That's not new to him. And he casually just sat down in the car and drove off, didn't skid off or nothing. That's easy decision making for them. For nothing. For nothing. I got to bring out something real quick.
Bishop, can I say this just right quick?
Yeah.
This is why we have to teach these laws. This is why we have to go into the neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. This is why we got to go to our people. This is why we got to bring out Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. This is why we got a mission and a purpose to help save our people. Because nobody else, the white man ain't gonna fix that. The Chinese man ain't going to fix that. The Arab man ain't going to fix that. We got to fix that. Am I right, brothers? Sisters, we got to fix that. All praises.
One of the things that, I got to save that, but I was going to talk about whenever we're in a situation where you see our people oppressed like this here, then you have what is known as informants, right? FBI informants and all that. I was going to go into all of that. That's here. But I knew that if I started, I ain't going to be able to finish it. But on the show, like I said, Bible Book of Our Fathers, I'm going through everything. You don't want to miss that because I'm telling you, I'm going all the way in. I was just trying to find a way to how to condense the whole thing today and talk about what I'm talking about now. But I'm going to really spread it out when I get on that. But what I will say is that, and I want to write this down to make sure that we got it. I said we look at this and think that it isn't going on in the BHI as well as the black community at large, meaning this misplaced aggression. Y'all all right? We actually do this in the BHIs. When I say we, I ain't talking about IUIC. I'm talking about you got a lot of camps that know what's going on in the community, and we're basically wasting time trying to slander and bring evil on each other. Meanwhile, you got stuff like this going on. You'll understand? That's the reason why we don't get into that. It's y'all, you do all that stuff over there. But we got work to do. You want to fight over a corner, want to fight over this, fight over that. You could have that. We going where our people are. You understand? And it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Y'all really don't, maybe some of y'all might know, but it's really dangerous going into these territories. And we got diverted and ended up in, what was the name of that place? Durban. That was not even where we were supposed to go. We had to go there and understand how order works. I'm going to say this here. If that was not even our stop where we were supposed to stop, how is it that when we got there, we had transportation already ready to go? Had everything ready to go. This is the power of organization when it's done in righteousness. And the Edomites that got off the boat with us, they were like, wait a minute. How the hell did they get all this set up when none of us was supposed to be here? They were baffled again. And I love it. You'll understand? Because again, that's where discipline kicks in. We're not Negroes. We don't operate like Negroes. We operate like gods. We operate like men of intelligence. We know how to put things together and make things happen. There was a part that I also wanted to talk about with this woman when she started all her madness. Well, actually, it was before that, because a whole group of them was going to the boat people that was running the boat, the crew and all that, and was complaining about us. And a sister heard about it. She saw what was going on. Her name is Dr. Kim Long. Dr. Kim C. Long, Cleet Long. Did I post it? I didn't post it up, did I? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. But I'm going to make sure that I get it in on the next one. But she heard what was going on and she wanted to. Well, Bishop talked about it last week and wrote a long page letter and so forth. And she wrote this book. And she was talking about the history about how the port cities were set up. It was us that did that. And she was going through the history, and I found that to be fascinating. Okay, so that's the woman there. We showed that last week, but that's us sitting in. That's the book she's holding. But I wanted to actually show the book itself, but I know I'm all over the place. Let me get back to what I was saying, because Bishop talked about it last week, so I don't have to go into it, at least right now. I'll expand when I get on Bible Book of Our Fathers, because the objective is that we want to actually go to that museum that she has. We actually want to start doing that and make some connections. And I told her I was going to promote the book. I want to go through it some more because there's a lot of good information in that book. And it's historical, some historical book. There it is. Put it up there. This is the book here. Okay. And she was explaining certain things out of this book. And she was making a point. She said the first marketplace, meaning our people's role in shaping world trade, meaning all commodities and all of that. The economy, us, our people that shape the economy. And I remember I heard another sister speak about how a world economy was built off our backs. You want to know who that woman was? Fred Hampton's wife. She was on the Donahue program. There was only one time that they actually had him on a live audience. I was in New York when they had it. They had them all sitting up on the stage, Bobby Seale and all of them, the Panthers, the ones that were still around. And during that same broadcast, ABC did some special report and preempted it. So I only caught a little bit of it. But she was making that point. She said that our world economy was built off of our backs. Okay? Barbara Johnson is her quote unquote given name, but she changed her name to Negura. Forget her full name. Negura. I forget. Huh? Look her up real quick. I don't want to say her name. Huh?
Nigeria. Akua Nigeria.
Yes, sir. Say it again.
Akua
Nigeria. That's her name. Okay. So she was on the program and she was talking about it. But the point that I'm at, that's her. Show her the face. That's how she is now. But she had an afro and she had a young baby during the time when her husband was being shot up in that Chicago apartment. She was in the apartment when they were shooting at her. Okay, that's her. So our people been through some stuff, So
that's Judas and the Black.
Yeah. So let me get on to what I was saying, and as I'm bringing this to a close for the day. Like I said, we look and we see this kind of neglect going on in our communities where we're focusing on each other and turning against each other. We still wrestle with the pain. We still wrestle with being in pain and labor to bring forth the righteousness of our people. We don't want to put effort into that. What we tend to do is that we tend to bite and devour each other. That's the misplaced aggression that we do among us, as the BHIs, I would say. Read Galatians 5, verse 15. Okay. While you're reading, while you're getting that, I'm going to make this point here. I said, we still wrestle with the pain of labor to struggle while applying discipline in our control over impulse and emotional responses to hard time situations. Okay? I say, here's the value of struggle through discipline. We need to learn how to value struggle through discipline, not just struggle by itself, struggle coupled with discipline. We have to know how to apply discipline in our trials, okay? Struggle is what gives life meaning, not automatic victory. When you quit struggling, that's when they have beaten you, and the they could be any of the temptations that you call yourself fighting against. You end up in the streets with your hands out. That's basically why the brother had to roll up and was trying to rob the brother in the house. You end up begging. You have no kind of structure, no kind of guidance, no nothing. So our people are just left roaming the streets, doing all kind of craziness, just trying to get up on a little bit of something and using weapons and all kind of stuff. And these are the things that bring about what I was talking about, behavioral sink. Okay, so you end up in the streets with your hands out, and we end up biting and devouring each other. Hence, we have the condition of behavioral sink. Now, we're going to read that in the Bible. Galatians 5:16.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 16.
15.
Verse 15.
Yes.
But if ye bite and devour one another,
Go ahead.
take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
Because that's what we end up doing. Here we are. We got an enemy that's slandering all of us. And we're busy trying to take shots. Well, we ain't taking shots at them, really. But they're really, fighting against us. And we all got the same war ahead of us. They're trying to kill every last one of us with the informants and all kind of other stuff that's going on. The slander, the situation in France, like what this woman tried to bring up. All of this is designed to shut Israel down. And we need to understand what the war is really about. Okay, read on.
But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Walk in the spirit means keeping the commandments in the faith of Christ in our repentance. I did not just want to just say walk in the spirit and don't really give any definition of what that means. It means keeping the commandments in the faith of Jesus the Christ in our repentance. Go ahead. And not only that, and also sin no more. That's what it means to walk in the spirit. We all came out of sin. But what we have to do in the spirit is stop sinning and walk in keeping the commandments in the faith of Christ and learn to stop sinning. Stop it, like Christ told the woman. Go and sin no more after she was found in adultery. Read on.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, the one to the other.
So there's going to always be a war that's happening with us in terms of us applying discipline to keep us from falling into the temptation of reacting emotionally. We have to teach our people that. And when our people come among us, they have to see that discipline among us. They have to see that discipline in our men. They have to see that discipline in our women. They have to see that. We're their only hope. When I say we're their only hope, because the Most High is our hope, and we're supposed to reflect that to them. They're not getting it nowhere else. So this is some real heavy work. That's why it's so, in a way, it's difficult to really teach effectively, because there's so many layers to this. There's so many layers. That's the reason why I say I got to give it in pieces and all that, because I try to cram it all up and I'm skipping things and all that because I'm trying to make this particular class make sense. But there's so much here in terms of the medicine that we really need, where you got to go into what causes the behavioral sink, stuff like that. What causes us to react violently and not employ discipline to think. We have to discuss those things. And we have to see the trajectory of thoughts when you can see it in your brother or your sister to say that I can see that he or she is getting ready to go down this line here before they even get there. We have to watch and monitor each other in a sense where I can see that the way you're carrying yourself and the way you're doing this and the way you're doing that, if we don't intervene, you're going to end up here. You're going to end up there. We got to get in front of that. But they have to see us as mentors, men and women. Read on.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery.
What verse are you in?
That's verse 19 now.
Go ahead.
For the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness.
All this is going on in our communities. Go ahead.
Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation.
This is how we bite and devour each other, by doing this to each other. Where is the discipline to say these things are not proper? Where's the discipline that says we are not to act this way and let us do the things that will get us out of this condition with Christ and the Most High on our side because we're following his directives? Go ahead.
Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
So this is what our mission is. Our mission is to stop our brothers and sisters and families from falling into this kind of temptation. That's the quest, to go after our brothers, to go after our sisters, to stop them from doing these things. Just like the programs we have in here. Many of our brothers and our sisters come from outside. They got to come in here and learn how to be men. I'll make that point. I'm going to play one more video. Give me the William O'Neill video. Did I give you the timestamp on it? No, it's just a video, right? Did I send it to you? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it's just what I gave y'all. Just play it the way it is. I wanted to show this because when our people are living in this kind of condition, they're looking for outlets. Listen to what I'm about to say. They're looking for outlets. And a recruiter will look to turn them to against their own. Because that's what happened. Show this brother on the screen. This is the Judas and the Black Messiah was actually based on this brother here.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
This is William O'Neill. This is the man that, quote unquote, set up Fred Hampton.
Damn.
Y'all all right? This ain't the movie. That's really him. He was being interviewed, and he spoke about how he was recruited. I wanted to get to that part there. And you're going to see how this is going to correlate in what I was saying earlier. When you're coming out of a system of idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, everybody will feel like that's their lot. So there's no need of me trying to explain or try to reason with my brothers. No, the first thing I'm going to do is pull this gun out and bam, 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 because that's some instant manhood. I was able to smoke him. And now you got 20, 30, 50 years locked away. You feel me? So many of our people live underneath that behavioral sink mentality. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So the question comes up, now play the video. I'm going to just jump right to it and I'm going to end it with this here. Play the video. I'm going to just let it talk.
They were politically organized.
It's coming.
They were recruiting. At that point, the Panthers were trying to, they had speaking engagements at the different colleges and so forth. So we were in an organizing process. And there was very little criminal activity, as I could determine what was going on. Very little to report to the FBI,
Pause it.
In my mind.
So he was being recruited to report on what the Panthers were doing. That's what he was doing. But you notice he said there was very little to no criminal activity that was going on among them. There was something else I was going to say with this here. Damn, this slipped my mind. Play on. I lost the thought.
You know, because I felt like since the FBI was an investigative body investigating federal crimes, that crimes were what they were looking at. And so...
Tell me a little bit about how you felt about working for the FBI. What
Okay, pause
motivated
it.
you?
I wanted to get to her question. She said, tell me a little bit about how it felt to be recruited by the FBI. I'm putting this out here to let you know that he's speaking from a place of being from that same society. Remember, he got caught stealing a car and they drove it over state lines. That's how he got in trouble. That's the norm for people to be in this kind of deprived, oppressive type of environment. And many of us are trying to find status. Listen to what I'm saying. I got a gun. You don't have a gun. Such and such. I got this Averex jacket. I got this. You don't have that. Status symbols. Because we're trying to find some level of manhood, some level of dignity. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So some people choose the crime route. Some people choose the quote-unquote informant route. Now, I'm not saying that crime should not be reported. That ain't what I'm saying at all. But in this case, and in all of the cases where they got this quote-unquote surveillance on people, you're talking about school teachers got surveillance on them, nuns, quote-unquote, people that ain't known for no kind of criminal activity or nothing. But just because they're thinking about how to overcome oppression, they got them under surveillance. So they will recruit from a subordinate population and, quote-unquote, give them positions and give them the feeling like they're special over their brothers. I'm going to say this here. This is what I want to get to. I'm going to say it. It's going to set it all on fire. We in IUIC will not put any man above anybody if you don't have the proper discipline. I'll tell you the reason why I say that. Because some camps will do just that. Take somebody with a criminal mentality and let him stay there and tell him he's got a rank of 1 million. Tell him he's got a rank of thousands. And his mind ain't right at all. You follow me? But because you gave them that title, they will feel like I'm okay now. And they walk around with that thing, knowing that there's no discipline, there's no structure in his life, nothing. They just basically turn worse than they were when they was out there in the world. We ain't gonna deal with that mess at all. When you come up in here, we're gonna put you through that training. We're gonna put you through that, getting your spirit built up. All that evil and message, that's got to be gone before you even become a member, basically. Because we're raising up righteous men up in here. And the same thing goes for you sisters. You women ain't going to come in here and be what you was in the street. You're going to get yourselves cleaned up, and that's exactly the reason why we got the programs for you. I had stuff like this written down in my paperwork for years, and I'm so glad that it's here now. They say, here we come. Got to clean it up, men and the women. Got to do it. But I want you to listen to what he said, and I'm going to end it. Back it up again. I'm going to let it play to where the woman asked a question. You ain't got to go that far. Let me hear it from right there. She asked a question. I'm going to let it play. Okay, go ahead. Go from there.
What they were looking at. And so...
Tell me a little bit about how you felt about working for the FBI. What motivated you and what you thought what ends you thought you were serving?
Well, in my community, the policemen were, it was the quickest way to gain respect. I think I grew up wanting to be a policeman, admiring and respecting policemen, although I always thought it was outside of my reach.
Why did he think it was outside of his reach? For many reasons. Outside of his reach. We ain't got to go into that. I'll go into that later on. But those are questions that you got to think. Why would he think that being a policeman is outside of his reach? Go ahead, play on.
And my neighborhood was not unlike most people that grew up in Chicago. Most young people, we were very mischievous and did a lot of juvenile type, petty criminal type things. But stealing a car and all of a sudden having the FBI, having a case with the FBI that thought of really going to jail got my attention. And so when he asked me to join the Black Panther Party, and he used terms, he never used the word informant. He always said, you're working for me. And I associated him as the FBI. So all of a sudden, I was working for the FBI, which in my mind at that point, I associated with being an FBI agent. So I felt good about it. I felt like I was working undercover for the FBI, doing something good for the finest police organization in America. And so I was pretty proud.
So you get the point? Stop. You get the
They
point?
were
Point, just listen. You get the point. Many of our people, especially our men, they want to live a noble life. They want to live above where they are. They want to live above the petty crime. You heard him talk about, he says he's from Chicago and all that. And his community is like many communities all across this country. And around the world, we see that overseas. So if somebody could come away from that and give them, because he thought he was an FBI agent. You might walk around in your mind, I get to show everybody, look, I'm not like everybody else. I got to live, this the same psychology as putting on a nice jacket, the Averex, the status symbol shoes. I work with the Bureau. You understand? Those are the kinds of things that will make you feel like, it's not to say that you're looking down on your people, but he wants to elevate above being a criminal. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I know he did I'm not talking about what he actually did. I'm talking about the psychology that got him there. Y'all follow me? We got to be able to look at different layers of things. You feel me? And so he said the same thing, and Darthard Perry said the same thing. Y'all heard about him, the FBI informant. So my point is, when you have somebody that will recruit from the subordinate population and bring them into a place where he said he felt like he had the ability and some power, because black men ain't got no power in these damn communities. That's why they walk around with a gun. They ain't got no power. So now he's up there and he feel like he's FBI. He feel like he got some power. All of the men want that. Y'all dig what I'm saying? But for an organization to bring brothers from that environment and to bring them in here and to say, okay, you're a captain now. You're an officer 80 now, or such as, and just give you this. And your mind is still out there. You ain't helping nobody. Your mind got to change. You got to be brought up right. You understand? That's what I had in my lesson. I didn't get that far with it. I'm just trying to throw it at you before I close it out. Y'all all right? The brothers got to, they got to learn righteousness. We're not in the business of just sticking somebody in a position and they're not spiritually ready. Because this is a lot of responsibility to be over a congregation. It's a lot of responsibility to be over brothers. You rank men. Like I said, an officer of 10. An officer of 10 is responsible for 10 families. And all their problems. Not just a man. If you got 10 men that are married with children, that officer has to properly advise each of those families. That's his responsibility. And you ain't getting that rank until you're able to do that without being emotional, without being this and that and something wild and crazy. No, can't have that. That's how we operate, because we understand that this is some serious work. So that's part of the quest, brothers and sisters. The quest is the deal, and the same thing goes with the sisters. You sisters are dealing with young women that's coming in here with all kinds of problems. You're going to have to know how to properly instruct them as senior women, as elder women. You're going to have to know how to sit down with these women and go through these experiences that they're coming in here with, and these problems on their mind and all of this stuff. You got to know how to deal with them properly. We're not going to have it any other way. Not on my watch. Y'all all right? So I just make it like that. And when I say my watch, I'm talking about all of these, because we all think that way. Y'all all right? And if something happened to us, the next tier is going to make sure that the same thing roll down the line. Because we know that there's a target on us. We know that. Understand it clearly. We know that. So I'm going to stop right there, brothers and sisters. Like I said, I just kind of just threw it all together. But I'll just mention this here. I'll just say this here. My objective is to teach about the quest, meaning the calling our people to repentance, then the process, which is the next step. The process is our action that is required in our repentance. And then I was going to deal with the opposition, which is the slander and lies that's used to retard us from that progress. And then the fight in spite of being attacked. We have to learn how to overcome that. And finally, the victory in overcoming our oppression and death. Okay, so that's what this whole lesson is about. The quest for the truth and the slander of an enemy. It is about going through those steps. So that's what I wanted to do, bring you to that. So, all praises to the Most High. Stay tuned for Bishop Nathaniel coming up next.
Praises.
Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath.
In Christ, bless Israel, Bishop Nathaniel. Some of you call me the general, and I appreciate that term, but today we're going to find out if I'm the truth. So as we know, the 12 tribes of Israel, like James 1:1 said, are scattered throughout all nations.
We need more schools of the truth, of the gospel being taught, okay? We need to hit these areas, Madagascar even.
Let me go.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're in Diego Suarez in Madagascar. We are doing an international march. This is Southeast Africa. Can you believe it? All right, so you see the men back here. Got Bishop Kanad, Bishop Yawasap. We're doing big things. So this ain't about being local. This is about being global. This is about being international. Now, I'm not knocking local. That's fine. But God has IUIC on an international mission, a global mission.
C'est ça, Dieu dit, le prophète. Et les autres nations sont... Les autres nations sont
Just how it looks out here, it looks like that where I'm from in the hood. We at the bottom of society. Why? Because we have not been taught the law.
Worldwide! Worldwide! Unity! 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 Unity!
Shalom, this is Captain OC of the IUIC Booster Club. Today I'm going to show you and tell you how you can join the Booster Club. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to send an email to IUIC.fundraising@israelunite.org. In the body of the email, you're going to include your name, where you congregate, and how long you have been with IUIC. Once you sent this email, wait for a response, and then you too will be a member of the IUIC Club. Shalom.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word